In this module, we'll be addressing the topic of cryptocurrencies. In order to do this, we'll be simplifying and breaking down Bitcoin, looking at the general definition of a cryptocurrency, addressing the differences between cryptocurrencies and equities, and outlining cryptocurrencies as an asset class. To understand cryptocurrency, we will look at the largest and most well-known cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. In 2008, a white paper or short thesis document was released titled Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. It detailed a new technology that utilizes cryptographic functions and blockchain technology for the purpose of the transfer of value. The timing of Bitcoin's release, being January 2009, in respect to the global economic scene, highlighted the appeal of its core principle of decentralization. This particular cryptocurrency is described by many as a digital gold because it portrays many characteristics of gold, including scarcity, as there is a limited supply of both gold and Bitcoin on the planet, and durability, as gold is a durable precious metal and Bitcoin cannot be tampered with. However, there are several key differences between gold and Bitcoin, including division. Gold is much more difficult to fractionalize when compared to Bitcoin, meaning that while we cannot use gold as a currency very well, Bitcoin is able to be used for payments and transactions globally. Another difference between the two is portability, as gold is heavy and bulky compared to Bitcoin, which can be stored or sent as easily as a banking transaction. In the link we find between Bitcoin and gold, we can understand that Bitcoin can be argued to be either a digital store of value or a digital alternative currency. Now let's break down what a cryptocurrency is. A cryptocurrency is a digital asset that utilizes the technology of blockchain to be transferable between two parties without the need for trust between each party or the need for an intermediary. We also need to make note that blockchain and cryptocurrencies are not synonymous. A cryptocurrency is a digital asset that runs on top of a blockchain. A blockchain is simply an open source database, which can function with or without a cryptocurrency being attached. Cryptocurrency allows for a new form of investment, as these are not traditional buy and hold shares in a company. So let's look at the differences between a cryptocurrency and an equity. In terms of investor rights, an individual investing in a company gains ownership of the company. In return, this entitles the investor to a share in company profits, among other benefits such as voting rights. In the context of cryptocurrencies, the investor receives a service or product in advance, as in the tokens they receive will be redeemable for the intended service once it becomes available. This is similar to pre-ordering a product or paying an upfront deposit to reserve a sale. An example of this is Tesla Motors receiving $5,000 down payment for future car owners to reserve their spot and also to give Tesla the liquidity they need for manufacturing. When we look at the capital raising structure, we see that in equities there are many systems and procedures in place when publicly raising capital. These include a heavily detailed prospectus and various other due diligence and corporate governance requirements, which come at a significant time and resource expense to the listing company. These requirements have been implemented to protect investors, as they ensure legitimacy and validity. In the circumstances of a cryptocurrency, there are minimal obstacles to overcome in order to raise capital. The prospective business has almost no restrictions by way of compliance and reporting. This means the process is faster and easier, and the investment can be marketed to a greater majority of the human population. The lack of compliance requirements is highly beneficial to the raising entities. However, renders the prospective investors unprotected and subject to higher risk in their investments. In the underlying objective of equities, we have business growth, which rewards the shareholders by satisfying their desire of financial gain. This is demonstrated by the fact that managers are employed with remuneration packages directly linked to financial performance of their teams and the organisation. In theory, this leaves a misalignment in the interests of the shareholders and the customers, where the shareholders' aim is to extract as much value from the customers as possible. In cryptocurrencies, the underlying benefit is network growth, but as there are no shareholders to profit from the success of the business, the users of the network benefit from the growth. An example of this difference would be the current business model of Facebook. When the social media platform grows, it is the shareholders who benefit. but it's actually Facebook's users all around the world which are giving Facebook its value. A cryptocurrency is set up in order to benefit the users as the network grows. There are no shareholders, so the full benefit of creating content and bringing users to the network is paid to the actual creators of the content. As an asset class, there are over 2,000 different cryptocurrencies today. This statistic may leave you picturing 2,000 different types of Bitcoin and wondering why we need this many digital currencies. This comes with the misguidance of the term cryptocurrency, which implies that each cryptocurrency is used solely for the online transfer of value. This issue is why many people from the industry refer to these assets as crypto assets. Most crypto assets are not similar to Bitcoin. Each one is different and unique in its own way. Without going too far into detail on the range of crypto assets, we need to understand that the use cases of this type of technology is in no way limited to a digital currency. Some of these other use cases for blockchain will be reviewed in the financial services module. Over the last decade, crypto assets experienced more growth than any other asset class. Despite this, the asset class also endured the greatest amount of volatility over that period. We'll address this volatility in one of the following modules. At the beginning of this module, we broke down Bitcoin to understand that its purpose as the first cryptocurrency was in response to the 2008 global economic position. It was created as a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, and it can also be argued to be a digital gold as a result of the similarities between the two assets. From there, we defined a cryptocurrency as a digital asset that utilizes blockchain and is transferable without intermediaries. We then addressed the key differences between cryptocurrencies and equities, highlighting the investor rights, capital raising process, and underlying objectives of both asset classes. To finish off, we touched on the asset class as a whole, identifying that the asset class has over 2,000 different cryptocurrencies, that there are a range of uses within the asset class that are dissimilar to Bitcoin, and while the overall market has experienced extreme growth, it has been highly volatile in its development.